Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Brianna Watson, and it's a pleasure to meet you. Now, I do have a couple things I want to say before I get into it. Huge Sonic fan, more Shadow fan than Sonic himself. The very first thing I ever did was watch Sonic X. Oops, probably should not have done that. Now, I liked Sonic X back when I first seen it. Now, me as an adult who is kind of binging on it while also not binging on it, if that makes sense. Not a fan because Sonic is a douche canoe. Yeah, douche canoe. Can't swear within like the first 2 minutes of any video. He's a douche canoe to Amy Rose. Now, I personally think Amy Rose in Sonic X is annoying as heck. Not a fan of her either. But Shadow does appear in Sonic X. That's the first Shadow I get a glimpse of. And, at first, I was a huge Sonic fan. Like I said, back when I was 14, 15. But I want to say a year later, a couple of years later, I became a Shadow fan. Now I have a knockoff of a Shadow plush, and I know it's a knockoff because certain things are not quite right. But I do have an official Shadow the Hedgehog plush that I won in a Subway claw machine at Walmart. And um, is that all? No. More recently, I had gained like the little gibbets, like the croc gibbets. Apparently, Shadow the Hedgehog, not Shadow, Sonic the Hedgehog and Crocs had partnered for a limited time to have these little gibbets. I can't find them anymore because I would totally buy more of these Shadow gibbets. But a friend of mine had been given this from somebody else. It's a Shadow gibbet and a Silver gibbet. Honestly, I'm not a huge Silver fan. Now, the reason why I started that was because I maybe once or twice played a Sonic game. I never played the full line of Sonic games because parents couldn't afford that. But I will say I did have a DS Lite, a light pink DS Lite. Not one but two. First one I threw against a wall and broke the power button, couldn't turn it on. The second one was water damaged, because I was spending the night at a friend's house, and we were out in the backyard with our other friend. There was like 3 of us girls in the backyard in a tent, and I want to say that rain came in and got on my bag, which got my DS wet, and I was so pissed. Because I took care of that thing really well because it was my second one. But I did have I don't want to say the original Sonic the Hedgehog Game Boy game. I did have a copy because I know for a fact it's not the original. It was a Game Boy Advance. Like a little Game Boy Advance, because I remember Game Boys had the big cartridges, but Game Boy Advance had the smaller cartridges. And that was in my. I had one. It was a pre-owned one. I want to say got it at GameStop, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. But it was a pre-owned Sonic the Hedgehog game, and I played that. My brother one of my brothers, because I have three, one of my brothers had inputted a cheat code where I can select any level of my desires. Green Hill could not get past. Don't remember the second zone or whatever. But I do remember the labyrinth. Got to a part in the labyrinth and I gave up. So, yeah. So I played that. And obviously there was more games coming out. There was a Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic 06, which was lots buggy. Then there was Shadow Sonic and the Black Knight or something like that, Sonic and the Seven Rings or whatever. There was a couple storyline kind of, actually no, not storylines, fairy tales of Sonic games. Then there was Sonic Unleashed. That was another game I had of a Sonic game, an official Sonic game, or actually, obviously all the ones were official. But that I played Sonic Unleashed. Now, like after school and stuff, whenever I could get the chance to have the TV and play it on the Wii, I would play it. My parents never had the Dreamcast, the Sega Dreamcast, the Sega whatever's, like all the Sega consoles before Sega stopped them and just focused on game design. I personally liked Sonic Unleashed. I really did like Sonic Unleashed. I really did play it a lot, but I got to a specific point in Sonic Unleashed where I got stuck. I could not figure out what to do and how to do it and stuff like that, and I want to say... I'm going to look it up real quick. Sonic Unleashed. There we go. Is 16 years old? Holy shoot. Holy shit. November 18th, 2008. Yeah, I didn't play this till I was maybe... Yeah, I was like 12 years old. Doing math. Yeah, by 2006, I was 10. At 2 years, I was 12 years old when I played the game. Never finished it for reasons that I got stuck. And like I said, I tried to figure out how to play the game. I really did. But it was a swinging part, and I won't say like I wasn't that far into it, but I was, to me, who never grew up really playing mini games, never got a chance to play mini games, I should say. I didn't get very far, so I was meh. I never read the comics either. I do own quite a like three official Sonic the Hedgehog comics, and I got 2 Princess Sally comics. I found them at like I want to say like a flea market type of deal. It was an indoor flea market where each person had like a little booth and stuff. I found that there. And they weren't that expensive. Like, I'm not kidding you. I believe I have Sonic issue 6, Sonic issue 6, Sonic issue 11 or 12, or something like that. And then I also have had one of the newer comics where Sonic was more older. Didn't look like classic Sonic like in the original Archie comics, but yeah, I read them. I liked some of them. I knew Sonic way when I was a little lassie, I should say. And I knew Sonic because of a friend of mine in elementary school. Me, him, actually no, I had two male friends in elementary school. I had a crush on one. The other guy had a crush on me when we all hit middle school. Now, my crush on him didn't go well. I despised him afterwards. Like, I was toxic when I was in middle school to high school when it came to my crushes. If they didn't like me back or if they were dating somebody, I would just be jealous. I've grown out of that, thankfully. But because of them, we played Sonic the Hedgehog. My one friend, which is funny because they both have the same initial, so I can't really say J and J. Then there's B. And then there was another B that was included in later on in our elementary school days. We played Sonic the Hedgehog. I was Amy, and then back then I created an OC. She's Amy's older twin sister, who I plan to do a comic myself. I'm in the process of creating the cover, but I'm also kind of waiting to start doing digital stuff. I did start uploading more on my DeviantArt again. Yay! 15 years! 16? 17? Maybe? I don't know. I lost count. I was really little. Not really little, but I was like in my early, I was like early teens when I created it. My username is clearly not to my favorite fandom. Before it got toxic, before I found out that it became lots toxic. I would play Amy. I would play my OC, Ashley. If y'all don't know, my middle name is Ashley, and I really like the initial A. What can I say? And the name Ashley. Ashley just rolls off the tongue. With that, I played two characters. My one friend who was a huge Sonic fanatic and taught me how to draw Sonic and the characters. Well, not all the characters. I only learned how to draw Sonic, Amy, and Shadow. Those were the only ones I knew how to draw. I still couldn't figure out how to draw Shadow's shoes, but I did figure that out eventually. My ADHD is kicking. I'm sorry. Anyways, so he was Sonic. My other friend was Shadow, because he was the cool guy. And I was Amy / Ashley. We'd be having fun. So that was what we did during recess. And when I got to be in my teens, like when I was like 11, 12, 13, one of the three ages I named, my friend who was a huge Sonic fanatic showed me how to draw Sonic, and I learned. I didn't think I was that great till I saw Christian's drawings, and yeah, I would say I'm 10 times better. I know exactly where it's at. Yeah. So I'm still figuring out the name of the comic, but yeah. Me, Ashley, my favorite character in the whole world, and I decided to give her a middle name, but I'm gonna kind of leave it out of the comics for certain purposes. And yes, I'm doing a whole ton of research on all of this. So yeah. Oh. But yeah. She is she doesn't have powers. Back then she did, but she doesn't now. But yeah, I'm kind of waiting to do more of that at a later date. So yes, I really like drawing. I really liked drawing a lot as a kid into my teens. It was a nice escape from rather other than books. Like it helped me mentally and emotionally a lot. And so yeah. So I was a fan of Sonic, but I never really got into Sonic like everybody else did. But I did start buying some of the new games. I bought Sonic Mania. I also bought I bought Sonic Mania. I bought another Sonic game. And then I pre-ordered Sonic and Shadow Generations cuz I'm excited. Now apparently supposedly Keanu Reeves is supposed to be playing Shadow's voice in the new Shadow game. But they, like I said, like one of the games that Sega released was called Shadow the Hedgehog. Now on the cover of Shadow the Hedgehog,
hey,
what
the this body is
fuck?
flawless.
Um, mm, I'll answer her in a minute. But yeah, so I heard really bad things about it. Like the concept, the concept of Shadow the Hedgehog was a great idea. Pick your own, pick and choose your own storyline, but they could have done better with like different cutscenes during certain ones. They basically reused some of the scenes, just kind of changed up the voices, like the voices a bit, and it's a little bit disappointing. Um, so sorry. So I like Shadow the Hedgehog, and I know Shadow the Hedgehog appears in the comics, and I really want to get through the comics and stuff and read them and learn more about Shadow and get his mannerisms. Like that's the whole point. Um, but then I started watching the original Sonic cartoons. Like there was first off Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, a blast. I want to say it had like over 50 some episodes, 60 over 60 episodes or something. Um, me, I loved it because at the end of each episode, like each episode had like a lesson to learn. And Sonic tells you what the lesson is at the end. Now, Jaleel White, who I want to say played Urkel in Family Matters, he was the very original voice of Sonic, both for Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, then there was the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon, which people love, actually, I should say love. Me personally, I was not a fan of that one. Like, I know that it's supposed to be like a spin-off, not a spin-off, but it had some of the characters from the like the beginning of the comics in the show, like Sally, Antoine. Then there was the walrus. I forget his name. And Tails. Obviously, Tails is going to be in it. And like I don't think Amy appears in the show, which is a little teensy disappointing. Like as much as I don't like Amy from the comics or Sonic X because she is a super huge fangirl. She follows Sonic around, is genuinely a stalker to him. Him in Sonic X is just as bad. Well, no, he's worse. He manipulates Amy and her emotions in a particular episode where they're all on a cruise that Eggman did and stuff like that. I forget when this episode happens, but it happens. But yeah, I did not like Sonic X because of that. Now, then they came out with Sonic Boom. Yeah, it was Adventures, then it was Sonic the Hedgehog, then it was a Sonic movie, like a Sonic the Hedgehog OVA, which is a Japanese kind of spin-off thing. Then Sonic X, Sonic Boom, Sonic Prime, and now and like there was clearly Sonic the Hedgehog movies with Jim Carrey playing Dr. Eggman, which is fucking hilarious. Love Jim Carrey, been a fan of him for ages. And I hated the first trailer of Sonic the Hedgehog. Obviously, a lot of Sonic fans hated it too because it looked ugly. Oh my goodness. So Paramount changed it. Changed everything, every little thing about it. Well, not about it, but changed what Sonic looks like, and then eventually there was Tails and Knuckles added to it in the second movie, and with Sonic the Hedgehog 3 coming out in December. Whoop whoop. With Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic Generations is coming out October 25th, which it said it was supposed to be released on October 22nd, but I just checked like the Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube channel, and I was pointing where my Google Chrome is, which is right here. Usually it might be flipped. Anyways, it's supposed to be released October 25th, but I was told October 22nd was when it was supposed to be released. Now, if it's October 25th, then I can play it October 26th. Not 26th. 22nd. Because me being me, as I was, like, I legitimately pre-ordered the deluxe edition of the game. Now it's $60 for on PlayStation, give or plus like $59.99 plus tax, which turns out to be over $60. Not everybody can afford it, and I get that. But me personally, it's like Shadow is my favorite character. He is like I absolutely love his character. And I love that Keanu Reeves is voicing Shadow the Hedgehog in the movie. I'm hoping and praying that it is Shadow the Hedgehog. Like Keanu Reeves is doing Shadow's voice for the game itself. That would be really awesome. Love that man to death. He is so sweet. He is so kind. But I will say my favorite thing is like he is he's a very sweet man in real life, and he knows he's like a phenomenon, I think I want to say. Like he's so humble. Like it's so hard to find somebody who like actors and actresses who are as humble as him. And like he played a badass motherfucking character called John Wick. Now, I forgot that Keanu Reeves was in The Matrix. Duh. But when I had watched John Wick 1, 2, 3, and now Chapter 4 is out, I still have to see Chapter 4. I just loved the character he played and the fact that he's badass character there, and then he becomes my favorite badass motherfucking character for Sega and Sonic X. Yes, give it to me. Now, I said I'm a fan of Sonic, like Sonic the Hedgehog, but yeah, I have never played the games nor read not many of the comics, and that is true. But I still know who Sonic is. I knew that he loved chili dogs, that he had a best friend named Tails, he had a crazy stalker named Amy, and he knew a guy named Knuckles. There's Rouge, there's Shadow, there's Big the Cat, there's Froggy, then there's Silver and Blaze. Memphis also appears in Sonic and Shadow Generations. And Black Doom. Black Doom was also in the original game. So, no, the first Sonic the Hedgehog game. I am hoping that they do not do the storylines again. For, like the different routes you can take, depending on certain ones for Shadow the Hedgehog. Because to me, that could have been left out. That could have been scrapped. And you could have still played it to that experience. Like you didn't have to get the true ending for anything. Like like with Sonic the Hedgehog, the reason why it's so popular is the fact that it's not a story-based game. You don't choose your adventure. The adventure is given to you as the hero, and you gotta make your way through it and save Mobius, Planet Mobius, from Dr. Eggman, who is the villain of the series. Now, Shadow, he's not a villain, he's not a hero, he's an anti-hero, which means that he does good, but not always. Like, he's got limits to his kindness or his badassery. And I will say, like, a lot of people say, like, Shadow's out for revenge against the humankind, and it's like, no, not really, because Shadow the Hedgehog video game proves that, and same with Sonic X. Like, even though Sonic X I don't like, the episode where Shadow is in, he wants peace. Now, Amy, that Sonic X episode is also like an homage to the Shadow the Hedgehog game, where Shadow just wants peace. He wants to help the world, the human race, and save it against Dr. Eggman, which to me personally is amazing. Like, he just wants to live in peace. He's seen so much fighting, he's seen so much violence, and like, he's supposedly 50 years old in this current timeline, but back when Maria was alive, he was like, I want to say 16 years old, because he looked to be about the same age as Sonic, maybe 19, give or take. But he deserves a lot, and I can't wait to see what they do in the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie, which has me so excited. I am bringing my Shadow Squishmallow. No ifs, ands, or buts given. And like I'm even excited for the Shadow Generations game. I'm gonna just say Shadow Generations game because that's what it's gonna be. Like even the trailer shows Black Doom and Memphis, which is ugh. And the fact that Shadow remembers, like, if you had the true ending of the Shadow the Hedgehog game, like I said, I never played it, but I did see all the endings, like, spoiler alert, if you're this far into the video, 30 minutes long, sorry, I'm passionate about Sonic. Or I'm passionate about Shadow, I should say. Um, he really just is so cool. I can't remember what I was saying. Crap. But anyways, like, yeah, the endings. The true ending is where Shadow has amnesia because after he destroys Space Colony Ark, he's in space. Somehow he survived. Like, Sonic Adventure 3, 2, I want to say. Was it? No? Okay, I'm getting the games mixed up. There was a game before Shadow. No, Shadow the Hedgehog is. It's after what takes place during a Sonic game where Shadow actually destroys the Ark and he survives and stuff like that. He is off in space, like he doesn't remember himself and stuff like that. But Shadow the Hedgehog, you try to find his memories. Like he tries to remember. Now he's Shadow the Hedgehog, but he also isn't Shadow the Hedgehog. Um. Anyways, yeah. You can go look up all the endings. I am so bad at remembering. I want to say there's like 9 different endings for Shadow the Hedgehog. But anyways, yeah. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.